Well, I guess it's that time. We're doing it. We're doing it. So, I had mentioned a close quarters defense 12 gauge. Well, today you're actually looking at that. I have done the videos for the 12 gauge shotgun with that long barrel. And I've done the 410 for women and children. But now the actual shotgun that I would deem worthy of household defense. This is the perfect gun for household defense. It's actually a perfect 12 gauge shotgun for many of your needs. I would suggest this is not the shotgun to take hunting, but it seems to be perfectly set up so that you could in fact turkey shoot with it. I suggest that, as in not shooting clays or anything, but actually sneaking up on turkeys and shooting them. I justify that with this box they brought with the gun that I bought. It comes with 3 chokes. One choke is already inside the barrel. The other 2 chokes are still in here. It comes with a key. Now, what do the chokes do? Well, the choke I have in there allows me to fire slugs, which basically means it just fits in the barrel and keeps the threads from getting messed up. Other ones, like the modified choke and the full choke, kind of pinch a little tighter on your shotgun shells as they, well, not the shells themselves, but the payload. The bullets and projectiles coming out of the barrel get squished down a little. When they get squished down a little, they stay together a little tighter as they go out the end, and they're grouped a little bit tighter as they hit targets in different distances. Not much, but some. Let's say you're shooting at 10 yards and you shoot with no choke whatsoever. That's the unmodified choke that goes in there that doesn't modify anything. It's just a bore placement holder to cover the threads, keep them from getting messed up. So your spread is, let's say your spread at 10 yards is like this. Well, full choke. This full choke? Yep, full choke. Full choke squeezes so hard that at your 10 yards, your shot might be a little bit more like this. Now, that's not a perfect explanation, but that is the general idea of chokes. And this kit came with the gun. So you could shoot a little further with it, with the choke, even without it being a long barrel. And I suggest that if you want a short-barreled gun, that this might not just fit the bill, but be perfect if you decided to change your mind and wanted to do a little bit of stuff on the side of it. Let's take a look at the length of this, because the length of this is controversially shorter than my 12 gauge. A little blackout for a second here. Alright. Full length of this gun, entire full length of this gun, is sitting borderline of 34 and a half. That looks like a shadow. I don't know. Kind of a close call because the whole gun bends up. It's not straight. Anyway, the actual barrel length, the part that becomes controversial. People tend to make a mistake, though, when they measure a barrel. They measure the barrel right about here. The barrel is actually not at the minimum length. The barrel starts up here. And so the barrel is actually about 19 and a half inches. But if you were to measure it right here, you can see that the barrel is almost the minimum length. Even at 19 to 20, it's such a short barrel compared to this long shotgun here. The barrel is still 5 to 6 inches longer at the very least. At the very least. So, what is this? Well, I can't pronounce that word. I think that's Nevada. I'm not sure. Duria Arms Turkey. Is there an actual name for this gun? Okay, there we go. A lot easier to say. This is considered the 12 gauge tradition. A 3-inch chambered single shot shotgun from Rhea Imports. Yes, this is another foreign made. I'm sorry, I can't suggest buying American made guns because they're god dang expensive. I can't justify it. I cannot justify spending $1,200 on a gun when this one works. It works just fine and is extremely accurate. I mean, that little panic attack aside, you got your choke, you got your short-barreled gun, but wait, there's more. I took something off of it when I first received it, and it comes with this kit. This kit right here is perfect. Perfect little kit. What's that, you ask? Well, you know what this is. We all know what this is, just from the very look of it. You add these in between the buttstock and the actual stock to give it an additional 2 inches between the buttstock and the stock to make it longer if you are a person of a more bigger or longer build and your arm and shoulder length is further out. Now, all guns come with a trigger lock or a barrel lock or a chamber lock of some kind. I think legally they have to, so I'm not even going to bother to show you the trigger lock because let's be honest, who actually keeps the original lock on their gun? If you don't replace it with a better gun lock, you probably don't replace it at all. That being said, the original gun, this gun, the buttstock had both of them on there. It was longer, and I looked through the manual and discovered that it come off. There's 3 sets of screws, and I took advantage of that and used the smallest set of screws to put this buttstock on. And I have already shot this quite a bit. It is single shot, so when I pull this whole trigger guard down, gravity drops. It can hold, bullets. It shoots shells, 12 gauge shells, up to 3-inch. What is so interesting is I have mentioned several times that some guns cycle and other guns don't cycle. This being single shot, it doesn't cycle anything. So it can adequately take mini shells. Now, you've heard me say mini shells on just about every shotgun video that I believe I've made so far. Single shells, single shells, single shells. Nothing against you, Justin, but what's with all these single shell, mini shells? Yeah, I'm just gonna shut up and put it in here. Fits in the gun. Fits in the gun. So I can shoot smaller rounds, very, very, very small slug rounds. I can tote a whole lot more at less weight. I receive less recoil from it. I can not only carry more, but I can stock more in my house. It's just, mini shells are great in theory, but they don't cycle through pump action shotguns. So since they don't cycle through pump action shotguns, they're almost useless if you don't have a single shot shotgun. Okay. So here's the question for Justin, in case he doesn't have a guilty conscience. Did you buy this gun specifically so you could shoot those mini shells? Yes. Yes, I did, and I'm not sorry. I am not sorry. I am not sorry at all. So, it has the typical pull the hammer back shot, pull the hammer back shot action. It has a rear sight, day and night settings, and the trigger gets in the way of the sight. It's almost comical. Boom, no sight. So why is it up there? Well, if you take the time to cock the bullet back first, and then try to look down your sight, you actually can sight the gun up pretty well. The hammer's not in the way. So that, take a little time to get familiar with your gun, because sometimes things look one way and then they're not. When I first saw this gun, I bought it because I liked it, and then I brought it home and thought, well, damn, the hammer is as high as the sight. And then when I finally pulled it back, I realized, I'm just being silly. So, what are the uses of such a short gun? A home defense. And I say home defense because you can go around the corners of your house and in the doorway without the gun poking out 3 feet in front of you. You don't have to shoot 80 to 90 yards as accurately with a short gun, because you're literally planning to shoot someone within the width of your living room. For someone like me, your living room is maybe 20 feet wide. So living in cardboard house, it doesn't make too much a difference. You just don't want to blow holes everywhere and miss. Having a short gun allows you to get closer to the other person or the issue or the danger. You don't have to live in fear of blowing out your wall, or when you come through the doorway you get shot because they saw your gun coming. You're a little bit shorter, butt stocking, using the combat style carry of these guns are a little bit easier. The shorter the gun is, the easier it is for you to carry it with the butt stock on your shoulder, and it makes it even shorter. It's comparison to having a larger handgun that shoots shotgun rounds at that point. Very useful. Now, I have said several times that 12 gauge is for someone that's rather healthy, and elderly folks may want something more like the 410 that I featured in my last video. That is true. And this is going to hit a little bit harder, if not a lot harder. In fact, when you shorten the barrel, I have a personal belief that the gun hits harder than if the barrel is longer. I'm not sure if that's true, it's just what I genuinely feel. That being said, this is more of a gun for an adult male that, he knows his way around a shotgun shell. He's not afraid of a slug, and he has to shoot through the door of his house because somebody is trying their best to bang their way through. You have your children and your wife huddled behind you, and you just need that one shot to take care of the situation. But it can shoot, just like I keep saying with all my shotgun videos. It can shoot the slugs, it can shoot the burst shots, it can shoot the double lock shots, it can shoot the plastic and non-lethal rubber slugs. It can shoot any of those. You can buy other things like a dragon's breath or a fleche round from different websites. I am not sponsored by anybody, and I never will be sponsored. I cannot be bought. You will never find an advertisement on my videos, and if you do, let me know. So I will not tell you what websites to go to, and I'm not advertising for Walmart either. I will tell you where I bought a gun and how much, but because I'm honest. I bought this gun not at Walmart. Not at Walmart at all. I bought this gun at Dunham's for $99. Now, Dunham's, $99. They don't sell anything for $99. So is this a bad gun? Is this an unwanted gun? Well, I don't think it's a bad gun. People may certainly not want it. They may want something scarier or bigger or fancier or with a pump action, but it's definitely not a bad gun. Now, when I say $99, I actually mean this was an insane deal. Why? Because you can buy a 3-piece choke set for sometimes $90. This choke set might be worth $45 to $60 by itself with all 3 chokes. So, really, even if you say this is $40, you're not even paying $100. You're not even paying $75 for this gun. And then with the extending ability of the stock, it's worth so much more because you can use it and then you can pass it down to your son who is shorter and smaller and adjust the buttstock, and as he gets older, add another one and add another one. It's a gun you can grow with, and it's safe. Single shots are pretty safe. Now, as far as safety goes, this gun doesn't have a safety. There's nothing to stop this gun from being shot. But it's single shot, so you could only potentially hurt one person once, or two people once, or three people once, depending on what kind of shell is in it. So the best statement is not to put a shell in it. Keep it in a place where it's safe until you're ready to use it. But it is a nice gun. I will give this gun 4 out of 5 simply because I feel like this gun is so useful and so nice. I don't want to come across arrogant. I will never give a gun 5 out of 5. But for its use, for its ability to adjust to the user, for the great deal that they give you, for its small compact size for home defense, for its beautiful fake wood decaling, I can't help but give this gun a good 4 out of 5. It is lightweight. It is very well centered in weight. I think it doesn't weigh no more than the 410. It weighs probably about 4.5 to 5 pounds. Not quite 5 pounds. I have thoroughly enjoyed this gun. How many shots have I put through it? I have only put about 103 shots out of this gun. But I love it. I have loved shooting it. I've had no problems with it. Nothing has jammed. I mean, how could it, right? You just... But all thoughts to the left. This is a great gun to use. Even if you were disabled, if you had one hand, you could thoroughly enjoy this gun or use this gun to keep your life safe. Again, for $99, that is a wicked deal on having a gun so you could take it camping with you because it's so small. You could take it canoeing with you because it's so small. You can defend your house with it. You can still shoot clays and stuff. You would adjust the choke, and it would probably do good for up to maybe 70 yards if you're really, really good. Having that back sight helps a lot, that orange sight there. I am really a pro-America person, but these imported guns aren't bad, and if you can find a gun that's really cheap and of good quality, you should buy it for yourself. Don't hold out because you're waiting to buy an American-made gun just because there may be one coming out soon on sale. Get you something now. There's looting now. Even gun stores have been looted recently. People are looting. People are getting hurt. Police are being defunded and disbanded. You don't know what's happening tomorrow. Protect yourself today. Thank you anyway for watching and hearing me ramble once again. I hope that this has been a interesting and helpful video to help you decide on which direction to go with in getting a gun. Maybe you've already had guns and you're just looking to buy another one. Hopefully this has either steered you away from or steered you towards a nice new gun to have. I never intend to scare anybody away from a gun, but I like to let you know what your options are, because there's so many options. There's just so many options. There's never enough options for guns. Guns are like knives. There's never enough options. Now, you don't need 1,000,000+ knives, and you really don't need 1,000,000+ guns. But for a different situation, a different gun is recommended. And having a gun for every situation is just like having a bow and arrow with 5 or 6 different types of arrows. You never know what kind of game you're going to be able to shoot, and you want to make sure you have the arrows and the arrowheads to shoot that game. Thank you for watching, and be sure to subscribe if you want more. Feel free to comment in the comments below, as long as you're not one of the same guys that keep posting things that are very, very inappropriate for YouTube. Your comments will be flagged every single time. Thank you. Have a great day.